So I just saw If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, directed by Mary Bronstein, starring Rose Byrne, starring Conan O'Brien, and even starring A$AP Rocky. And here are my immediate thoughts. So I definitely don't want to give too much of this film away, and honestly, you should go into this film blind. But here's what this film is about quickly. So definitively, this film is about motherhood portrayed through the character of Linda, played by Rose Byrne. However, it's not that simple. Linda, who is played by Rose Byrne, is facing some very serious hardships in her life right now, and she is constantly on the verge of a mental breakdown. And as a woman and as a mother, she is constantly struggling. Her entire life is on the verge of collapsing. She has to navigate her daughter's mysterious illness. She has to deal with an absentee husband. She has to deal with an apartment that is seemingly on the verge of collapsing on itself. She has to deal with a very hostile work environment, and she also has to deal with a missing person. And here's what I think about this film. That movie was absolutely terrific in my opinion. That was one of the scariest movies I've seen all year, and honestly, that was easily the most anxiety-inducing film I've seen this year. This film reminded me so much of Beau is Afraid. I love Beau is Afraid. I think it's one of the best films of the 2020s, and this film reminded me so much of Beau is Afraid, except it's through the lens of motherhood and femininity. This film is so deeply humane. It might be the most humane film of the year. I just love how real this film felt. I love how real the characters felt in this film, despite this film fighting surrealism and fantasy at times. This film just felt incredibly humane and real, and I just love that aspect of this film. I love the way that femininity and motherhood is portrayed through the character of Linda in this film. Linda is a struggling mother who has hard things to deal with in her life at this moment, no doubt, but also she's an extremely flawed character. And not only do I think the character of Linda is written beautifully, I think what Mary Bronstein did with this film is incredibly raw and humane, and I couldn't help but to be fascinated by the entire concept of this film and the incredible creative decisions that were made by Mary Bronstein. Rose Byrne undoubtedly deserves an Oscar nomination for her performance in If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You. She is terrific in this film. She is riveting, she is breathtaking, and she is so deeply humane and flawed. I loved her performance in this film, and honestly, Rose Byrne, I was not familiar with your game. Is this quietly the year of A$AP Rocky? He was the best thing about Highs to Lows in my opinion, and now he's in this film, and he's really great here. And A$AP Rocky, shout out to you. You might have a future as an actor. This is one of the most refreshing and unique films I've seen in the entirety of this year. The creative decisions that are made in this film are so incredibly potent and so incredibly refreshing that it keeps you engaged through the entirety of its runtime. I also love how this film is open to interpretation because honestly, the ending of this film is very ambiguous and I love that. So ultimately, I give this film a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's one of the very best films of 2025. And honestly, I may be ready to say that this is one of the very best films of the 2020s, but I won't get too ahead of myself yet. Go see this film if you haven't. If you made it this far in the video, leave a like and comment, and also follow me everywhere at Matt Talks Films, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Matt Talks Films, and I'll see you there.